do you mean?
Somehow bought ourselves 2 minutes.
How do you get 2 minutes?
Should we start opening up with a dance segment or something? You know,
I mean-
synchronized, no?
Tell me the camera's not on. No, okay, it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want the internet to see what's happening in this room at this exact. Oh man.
Body rolls. Body rolls.
But you know what? The internet is seeing us, and they are listening to us right now. So does somebody want to kick off the show?
Let's do it!
All right.
Hello, everybody, and we are back with episode 12 of The Nexus. I'm Lisa Dwan, and here in the studio with me today is Josh.
Hello.
And we got Ryan over there.
What's up? I'm here too.
Are we missing somebody today? I'm not really sure.
Yes. Gabe has been afflicted by a Malzahar E. And he
my
is
god, the league jokes, please
he is not here with us.
Why are you taking Colin's place and doing these lame jokes over here?
I'm sorry. I need to be a foil for you, Ryan.
Yes. All right. Well, cool, because we've got another foil on the
Oh, no.
podcast, don't we?
What an intro.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everyone, why don't we put our hands together in a prayer? I prepared this special segment, by the way.
Okay.
Everyone put your hands in a prayer because we're going to welcome our guest, God Gilius, to the show. Let's bring him in. Gilius, can you hear us?
And you should be able to hear him there now.
There you go. Gilius, you here?
Perfect.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard our intro there. You might have,
No,
you might
he
have missed
didn't.
it, but let me do it again for you.
I didn't.
We prayed.
We prayed for you. We put our hands together and we called upon you because I hear your nickname is God Gilius.
Yeah, of course.
Where did that nickname come from, by the way?
So I was like called Gilius in solo queue, and then do you know Jesus from Fnatic?
Yep.
Yes.
He was like, "Your name is a bit boring. Call yourself God Gilius." And then I was like, "Sure." And then
You let him flame you like that?
yeah, I mean, why not?
Wow.
So where does the Gilius part come
Yeah.
from specifically?
That's just a random name. I don't know. I played some online games back then, and yeah, I don't know how I got that name, but
Okay. So like
Yeah.
you name some characters online that or something, and then that just stuck.
I mean, it's just random letters together, and then it's a name, you know.
Okay, because I thought there was a bass called Gilius,
A
like
bass?
like a bass guitar or something. So I was like, it doesn't
Oh.
have. I wasn't sure if maybe you were in like a cover band or something. I should know.
Oh
about.
no.
Okay.
But
Okay.
do you play the guitar?
I don't think.
Damn. I tried.
You tried to make it work.
I
but
tried to
we
fish
tried
for it.
We tried to retcon history. We tried to change it, but it didn't work.
Nah, I'm not talented in that way.
Talented enough. The mechanics on this kid, he can't.
Yeah, the guitar mechanics.
You could easily get
I'm better
around.
with the mouse, you know.
All right. Well, it's the off season. Are you at home right now? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in Cologne at home with my parents.
Kelowna. Oh, I see. And that's your bedroom. Pretty neat. You know, we like to evaluate people's background, like the
Room
background.
raiders.
Yeah, it doesn't look too fancy, but yeah.
I feel like you're hiding
That's where I
stuff.
sleep.
It's too clean. You know what I mean? Those closets in the back there. What are you
Yeah.
hiding, buddy?
I didn't hear the last part. What did you say?
What are you hiding there? There's a lot of closets. There's a lot of closet
yeah.
space over there. Huh?
I'm hiding my my secret
Ooh.
weapons.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Weapons of League destruction. God
Yeah.
Gilius.
We're hyping him so hard.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
great. Well, let's talk about your past season. It is the off season now, but you just wrapped up playing for EUnited, right, in NA?
Yeah.
And it's been a long season. You know, it didn't end up in the best ways for you guys. So why don't you take us through your experience playing with EUnited from the beginning? How was that whole experience for you?
What I really liked in the beginning already was that we did a boot camp in Korea for 1 month. So I kind of had this feeling that it was a really try-hard organization. They really wanted to win because they like not every organization takes you to Korea for a challenger series, you know. And it was so I played with 3 rookies from NA and with Fox. So it was something new because I've never it has been a long time since I played with rookies. It has been like 2 years, and I had to get used to them not knowing everything, and we had to work together to like be on the same page with everything. But they improved like in an insane pace, like really fast, and they like in the middle of the season they were already like game knowledge wise on the level of veterans, so it was really nice to work with them. And I think the reason why we didn't make it in the end was like we couldn't really handle the pressure that well, because like playing the Challenger Series like league games, like the regular season is really like relaxed because you only play one best of 2 every week. So and the promotion tournament was pretty stressful, like the schedule, because you play your first best of 5 at one day, and then the next day you play the other one that decides if you make it or not. So like 2 best of 5s, packed in 2 days. So we couldn't really handle the pressure, I think.
Well, that's interesting because you personally, you have a lot of experience. You've played with Unicorns, you played for Schalke. I think at one point, didn't you play at Worlds, on the World stage too?
Yeah,
so
I
you have
did.
a lot of experience. So with you being the veteran on the team, was that difficult for you to help the rookies, kind of like to help guide them on?
I think, yeah, I didn't do a great job at like keeping everyone calm and collected, you know, because I was kind of stressing myself as well to perform. And yeah, I didn't really handle that tournament too well. Like I could have just been much more relaxed and just take it easy, you know, and then we might have won the series.
I actually want to ask about a specific moment in that tournament, if you don't mind, Gilius. During the Liquid set, there was like this whole thing about how like somebody bumped you backstage, and Clerky had tweeted that you had basically tilted as a result of that. Was that accurate? Like, did that factor into how you played in that series, or is that not at all a factor?
After game 2, yeah, it definitely impacted me, but it's rather on me to handle the situation better, you know, because like being that emotional to play worse because of a shoulder bump that's just bad by me. So yeah, I don't really blame it on that guy. Yeah, I rather blame it on myself.
Is that
But
something?
yeah, I played much worse because of that. Yeah, sorry.
Like no, it's okay. I was just saying how like, you played in the EU LCS before. You've had a lot of experience. The whole shoulder bump thing, is that like the first time you've ever experienced that? Why did it shake you so much?
I mean, it was the first time, yeah, and I actually the reason because like why I was so pissed is that he did it and then he just ran past me and didn't even say sorry or something. So I was like, so I thought he did it intentionally. I was like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? And yeah, I don't know. I could have just you know not cared and just played the game, but yeah. Instead I got angry.
And I guess, in your opinion, like, you know, it's the promotion tournament. It's for everything that matters. It's going to be the, you know, I guess some people had rumors that it could be one of the last seasons for a challenger team to make it into the NALCS before franchising. And at that point, I mean, like, teams will do anything to win. And I just want to know, do you think it was intentional to get in your head? Do you think that was a ploy and that it was successful in knocking you off your game?
The reason why I think it was intentionally is that this guy messaged my coach one day before the match and was like DMing him like, "Are you ready for tomorrow?" Like with a twinking face, you know.
The psychological game.
Yeah, I mean, this guy was trying to trigger us, you know, like he was just trying to annoy us. So, and then he did that the next day and like ran past us like I don't know, like he didn't even say sorry or didn't even react to anything. So I'm pretty sure he did it on purpose. But yeah, it's a two-way thing. Like he shouldn't do it, and I should just stay calm, you know.
And I guess, yeah, Gilius, I guess I'm very much of the mind that life is going to throw a lot of obstacles at you. It's up to us to sort of navigate how we deal with those. And you said, you know, if that was intentional, it wasn't effective in getting you off your game. And in learning that lesson that you can, you know, be mentally, I guess, wobbled from your performance. Knowing that now, what have you done differently to sort of set yourself up for success so this doesn't happen again?
So I have like trained myself to have like good game rituals, you know, where I, like, as example, I started meditating and stuff. So for the next upcoming season, I'm gonna use that before my matches to like get away like all the stress and all the negative thoughts I have. So things like that.
So in
like,
terms,
bring me, yeah.
I just want to ask about the meditation. In terms of that, is that something ongoing, like maintenance, day to day, day in, day out? 30-day meditation challenges, or is this something that's very specific to visualization and stuff that has to do with the actual in game?
Oh no, it's just it has nothing to do with in game. It's just to make myself a more calm person and just to get rid of stress.
Yeah,
so,
and I know like more and more now we're hearing from CEOs, Devin Lewis, Noah Winston, all about this holistic approach about taking care of the players' mental health and stuff like that. So I mean, good on you to take advantage of meditation and hopefully see some benefits. Is it working?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely working. Like I can already see it in solo queue. Like I don't get triggered by anything. I'm fully concentrated on the game the whole day, even though I'm just sitting at home. So usually all the stress should build up, because I'm not really moving my body. But since I meditate, I feel much more calm, So and I'm gonna use that next season before matches. Like I did it because I read a lot like online that like a lot of athletes before they have a really important match, they like the really good athletes, they're good at meditating before the match and just getting rid of all the stress, like just to focus on that important match. So that's where I got that idea from. So
that was actually my next question, Gilius, because it doesn't seem like this is something that a lot of players are doing, or if they are doing it, they aren't talking about it.
But I mean, more and more people are, and we're even seeing, even G2 coaches, Weldon Green, talking a lot about meditation and stuff like that. And I guess in any sort of sports psychology, there's always this anxiety. I mean, you need to be anxious, you need to be hype, but you don't want to go too far to the levels, in Gilius' case, where you get knocked off your game. You're riding a thin line with this anxiety thing. But I mean, good on Gilius for taking on this meditation, because it is actually proven, peer-reviewed journals scientifically fact that by doing meditation, even 5 minutes a day, it physically changes the composition of your brain. You're able to deal with different stresses coming in, and like he says, different things that are thrown your way, curveballs in life. If you can meditate and be able to withstand, something that could be irritating or seem like a certain way, and you could just keep your composure, I mean, that's got to do a world of good on you. And honestly, Gilius, I hope it works out for you. And even if you don't see changes right away, just stick with it, man.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Let's strip it down a bit for our viewers, so like those who don't meditate. Like I don't meditate. So Gilius, take us through your process. How do you meditate?
Okay, so I make myself like a time, like an alarm. So I do it 20 minutes.
Okay.
I sit down somewhere where my back, basically I'm sitting on the ground, but like I prefer to do it on the ground and not on the chair, because then I get kind of tired doing it, I close my eyes and I just focus 20 minutes, just focus on my breathing, like breathing in and breathing out. And whenever I get random thoughts in my head, I try to get rid of them, and I just try to concentrate on the presence for 20 minutes, like just on the presence, not on any plans, like on anything that has happened in the past, just in the presence. And then, when the 20 minutes are over, I just feel really relaxed, and my head is kind of like empty from thoughts. So that.
And Gilius touches on a bunch of good points there. Like when you meditate, what you want to do is find something, and he focuses on his breath. It could be any noise. It could be the noise of the construction that you hear down the road. And what you want to do is just stay in the present moment. So you're focused on your breathing or any sort of sensation like that. And the second that you get thoughts like, oh, like I'm nervous about this game, I'm in debt, need to pay money, where the hamsters run wild, stuff like that. At that moment, you realize that your brain is going off the wrong track, that you're not being present, and then you just that quick moment right there when you realize, this is what's bringing on stress, this is what's bringing on whatever anxieties that I shouldn't be thinking about right now, the second you identify that and go back to your brain, it's literally like doing a bicep curl for your head. And I guess a lot of people who are like, say in the Challenger Series, who want to make it, to the next level, we're dealing with CEOs who talk about nutrition and physical health and meditation and visualization. So what Gilius has done here is, taking it on himself, and anyone can really do this. So stay in the present moment, think about like he does, like his breath, and the second that you go off track and think about, oh my God, big match coming up, you identify, you go back to your breath, and that's literally changing the composition of your brain.
That's funny. We have God Gilius and Preacher Ryan right over here. Yeah. God Gilius, Preacher Ryan.
Welcome to the Church of Gilius. We will now meditate for 20 minutes, and then we will play solo queue.
Yes.
Right. You brought up exercise. Gilius, do you exercise as well?
Yeah, I go to the gym, yeah.
Wow. I feel like a lot of players now are starting to make that part of their routine.
Yeah, not a lot of journalists,
though. That's really important, though.
And what?
I mean, that is really important, though, like doing like physical exercises, because like it helps your brain a lot. So, yeah.
Really? How so?
I mean, I don't really know what happens in the brain when you do physical activities, but I know that it makes you play much better when you like at least go running or something, or just go to the gym. Then you're much more focused in the game. So that's why I do it.
That was a really unfair question, Lisa. You're like asking Gilius to like provide us a full rundown of how the brain operates when you want
to see the evidence.
I'm not a doctor in that case,
but you are God.
Yes.
Yeah, but it helps for sure. Like going to the gym. Yeah, it's for relieving stress as well. It's just if you get rid of stress, then your brain will work much better. So
that's what I meant. I wasn't asking for like chemicals. I was asking how he feels.
It felt like you wanted a more full scientific explanation from him. Okay.
No, but that's. I mean, he's right on the right track, and he's in the right direction. It does help relieve stress. And I know from playing my low-level solo queue games that like I do get hyped. My heart rate gets up, man. My heart is beating out of my chest.
I'm not gonna lie, I get stressed too. I don't really like to play anymore because I get so stressed out.
Yeah, and that's not a physical exertion. That is stress causing my heart to beat at 180 beats per minute. So when you do something like a workout, I mean, we're animals. We're no different from some beast that's got to go out and just prove themselves. They got to sweat. They got to get their body going, and from that, your brain releases serotonin and lots of good stuff that helps deal with stress and just overall helps keep you sharp. You sleep better, all kinds of stuff. So it's a very much a holistic approach that again a lot of these CEOs are taking up. And if you're someone who is doing the challenger thing, or someone like Gilius maybe going to EU, I mean, you got to be on the top. You got to be on top of your game.
I gotta ask actually, Gilius, about the twit longer. I want to talk a little bit about that. I did read the whole thing. I got to the end of it where it said, "Thanks for reading the whole thing." So what made you decide to do that? Like, what were you feeling, and what was the goal of that twit longer for you as a player?
What was the goal? I mean, I wanted to do it to just announce that I'm not gonna play in EUnited next split. But then I decided to just add some things about myself and about how I improved the last year, like as a person. And I mean, I was not really feeling sad at that moment, but not happy either. I was just writing some honest thoughts that I had down,
So I've got to ask, why do you say like you're whatever, like a different person now? Like you've got to put that out there. Do you feel like you've got a reputation that you've got to step outside of?
I mean, I don't feel like I'm a different person. I would rather say that, like in my opinion, like ever since I've played, since I was like 13, I've played in football clubs. I was always in a team environment. And I've always been a good teammate, like wherever I was. And then I came into League of Legends, and I don't know what changed with me, but I had this like weird attitude that I tried to correct everyone and try to make everyone better, which is like considered toxic, I guess, in League of Legends. And people didn't enjoy playing with me that much. And now I slowly start realizing that if I just focus on myself, then it's going to be much easier, you know, then everything is going to be solved and I will be a good teammate. So
and here's I was about to say, here's something I believe in, and maybe you are on the same lines, that when it comes to, you know, playing League of Legends, it's a game that you loved playing, that you really enjoyed, and then when you get to the, you know, you're getting paid, you're now in the pro scene, any job will become work. And the more that you focus on it, 40, 60, 80 hours a week, and you want to get that craft better and better, and you're pushing your team to do better and better, I mean, that's when it takes the fun out of it. And I think that, you know, I mean, you know some famous football clubs, and I think that they're doing their best when they're playing the game that they love, the game that they enjoy. And when they can take the stress and the work and that stuff out of it and do it because you love it, I think that's when that you really succeed. I don't know if you're along the same realization.
I mean, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, I have done that like mistake in my earlier pro career, that I have played the game way too much, you know, and I have built up all that stress that like impacted me negatively and my teammates as well in the way I was, you know, and now I start realizing that I don't need to play the whole day. It's enough to play a set amount of hours, and then the rest of the hours I can use to make myself better, like going to the gym and stuff like that, or hanging out with my teammates, just creating a better team environment. So that's it. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And I think that, you know, now looking back in retrospect, I guess everyone can grow and everyone can change, and as you get older, you're not the same person that you were a few years ago, and it seems like you've got your head on your shoulders now, that you're looking to take more of a holistic approach and more of like a longevity in this League of Legends in general.
Yeah,
because
definitely,
I guess we've also been talking about there's no age limit in terms of this. It's just the fact that the work-life balance seems to fit more with young people. But I guess yourself, like you said, you were playing with a bunch of rookies who are willing to put in, you know, the 100-hour work weeks. But you need that work-life balance, and hopefully it does come back in spades and improve your performance. Do you believe that it has? Do you believe you're a better player now?
I mean, I don't think I've shown like my real skill yet, but I mean, at least being a pro for 3 years shows that all the work I put in has kind of been worth it. Mm-hmm. But I think that I have the skill to play on the top level, but people didn't really I couldn't really show it yet, or people don't really believe it. So that's like my next step in my career, like being in a strong team where I can make it to playoffs, make it to Worlds, maybe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Did I get away from your question?
No. That's awesome. That's perfect. And I think that I mean, for you, Gilius, it seems like the best times are ahead of you.
Actually,
yeah,
you kind of mentioned something, Ryan. Gilius, you've been playing for over 3 years now, you've said, and it seems like the scene is changing a lot. Do you feel like being a pro player nowadays has changed from what it was, you know, like 3 years ago? Is it more stressful now? What sort of things have changed since being a pro player 3 years ago?
I think it's less stressful rather, because back then you had pretty bad living conditions. People were not really doing sports. People were eating fast food only, and just being rude to each other. So
yeah, in general.
Back then you were also getting paid much less money, so that might have been also like stressful, because you know that your career could end any time and you're not even making much money. And nowadays you get a fair paycheck, and we live in much better houses. The league is more structured, so I think nowadays it's much better.
Well, that's good.
And I've got to ask about the evolution of trash talk, because it seems like in this day and age, especially with, you know, like a sport like UFC, now these guys are connected on Twitter back and forth. There's so much more media involved, like there's full coverage. So it seems more and more like the drama, like the trash talk really sells. So I just want to know, in your experience, when is it too far? When is trash talk acceptable?
I Yeah, that's
Why'd
hard
you
topic.
clear your throat there, huh?
See, my thing,
I mean-
Gilius, is you keep talking about how you've changed as a player, but I don't know if I want you to change away from taking the occasional shot at someone.
Stay the
You know
heel.
what
Be
I'm
like
saying?
the Chael Sonnen.
I actually don't like to call it trash talk because whenever I do trash talk, I am just saying my honest opinion.
Hashtag
but-
real talk.
Yeah, it's real talk.
But I think it makes the game much more like spicy. You know, the game you will play when you say what you think about the other team. You know, and then people are much more interested to watch it, and the person who does the trash talk has insane pressure on him. So that's something interesting to deal with as well. Different experience. So I mean, I don't really know when it goes too far. I don't think there's a limit. It's just it depends how the people take it, you know.
If we go back to the time, I think it was when you faced Gold Coin United, right, in the finals, and there was shit. I said shit talking. Sorry,
It's okay,
guys.
you can say that.
There was fucking shit talking. Fucking.
I'm sorry. We're
You
talking
could say
to
that.
an EU player, and it just came out the cussing. Okay, so the trash talking, came out full force, and I think you received a lot of backlash for it, criticism for the shit talk that you did. So how did you deal with all the criticism? Did you feel like it was fair?
Yeah, I definitely felt like it was fair because, I mean, if I fire a shot like that, I have to back it up and win, and I lost. So, but I don't really care about that criticism. Like I see, like when I do a post like that and lose, I'm rather focused with myself. Like I'm really sad that I lost, and I'm rather trying to handle that rather than checking Twitter and seeing how people flame me. So I don't really care what people write. Like, even if I win games, I don't really care if people write, hey, good job, Gilius. Like, nowadays, I really don't care about social media that much. It's rather about being successful for me right now. Like, when I win a game, I don't need to go on social media to get, like, a satisfaction that people are saying, hey, good job. I'm more like, I'm happy with it myself already. So it's enough for me.
I can testify that Gilius is not constantly checking his
Why?
Twitter because I tweeted about him being on the show and like it took him a couple hours. Like he's not glued to his phone or anything like some of us.
Maybe he saw it, but he was like, I don't want to respond to this tweet, so just ignored it. Okay.
I actually didn't see it there.
There it is.
Listen now.
Do you feel better about yourself now, Josh?
I'm just saying. I didn't feel bad. I'm just saying I'm backing him up because honestly I love it. I
Verifying.
love this kind of inclusion
yes.
in esports.
Now, and I love the trash talk personally, and I think, like he said, it makes it spicy. Spicy is a wicked.
The right word.
It is the right word for it.
It's the right word.
But I mean, people are just haters out there, and like Gilius is saying, like you've got to ignore the haters, and you can't gauge your happiness on a win or loss based on what Twitter's saying. Like you've got to be satisfied with it yourself. But in terms of the trash talk, like as long as you put it out there, you hype it up, you make it spicy, as long as you don't then take, the fallout or the clash from that personally, you're just doing it for the entertainment of the fans. And what I hate is that people want more access and more personality and to learn about people. But then when trash talk comes out that could be playful and fun, people want to hate. You want more access. You want spicier games. You want drama. We're giving it to you, and now you're going to hate on us? Nah, man. Keep the trash talk alive and well, and always do it with a good laugh, right? You trash talk, you go ahead and lose. You're respectful about it, right? You say whatever and you move on. You don't take it personally. Hopefully, I just love trash talk, and I hope that you keep it up. This new form, Gilius, I hope he keeps it up, man. Keep up the trash talk.
All right.
But he doesn't call it trash talk.
We'll see about that.
Wait, hold on. Okay, what's interesting is like Gilius, you're one of the few players that actually played in multiple regions. So you've been in EU now. You've been in NA. So and another thing, how there seems to be a difference in popularity between EU and NA. For some reason, the viewership for EU is not as high, and like the players in EU don't get as much attention as they do in NA. So you've experienced both, regions. Why do you feel like that's the reason? Why is there less attention on EU as a region? Is there just no interesting people in EU?
No, I disagree.
No, I think the reason is that the streaming times are just better for NA because that European fans are really interested in NA and NA fans are not in Europe and in the Europe LCS because of the times. Because I think when the EU LCS is on, it's like super early in the morning for NA.
Yeah,
And when the NA LCS is on, it's like the perfect time in Europe to watch it. It's like at 10 in the evening.
Oh.
So all the like European fans just switch over to NA as well. So I think that's the reason. And what else? Yeah, I guess there's more personalities in NA, but I don't really know what's the reason for that.
I guess like NA seems to be like, we were talking about how social media, like how it could be a bad thing with criticisms coming through social media, but it's definitely at this time a tool that people can use to promote themselves. And I noticed that I think NA players are just better at it. Like they seem to use
so.
NA players. What do you mean no?
EU fan reporting in, and I actually agree with Gilius. I think it has a big part of it is the times.
Really?
Because I think it starts at like 11 a.m. our time.
Yeah, I'm awake to watch it.
And like, okay, I'm at work and it's on the TV at work,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But I mean, if I was at a different job where I didn't get to write about esports for a living, I would not be watching
That's
it
true.
because I would be doing something else, right? So it is kind of rough in that way. What we did see, I guess our colleague Dan wrote an article about it, looking at some of the numbers, and the Fnatic games were watched. Fnatic seemed to be the biggest
But it's because
draw.
Fnatic has a fan base, like a huge fan base. So it's about the fan base. It brings in the views no matter when the games are happening.
Yeah.
So why is it like Fnatic, we see the success because they have a huge fan base. What about G2? What about all the other EU teams that seem to be struggling with gathering a fan base?
I think there are great personalities in EU, but I think Gilius hit on the head, honestly. I think like it's...
All right, fine.
You know, like there are wonderful personalities. I think Soaz is great. I was watching his stream earlier today. Like there's some really great players in EU who are entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with that.
If I think about NA, I think about Bjergsen,
Yes.
Double Lift.
Yes.
That's it.
What? No.
Yes.
What about the CLG guys, Team Liquid guys? There's a lot of imports that are coming in.
Oh,
Everyone's-
actually, yeah, I guess
Cloud9? Cloud9's
Jensen.
huge. Yeah,
Yeah,
come
I mean
on.
Dardog. Yeah,
Come
there's
on,
some.
Dardog is huge. Like,
I like Dardock. I'm gonna know that. We're both Josh too, so.
But generally, like maybe it's because the NALCS is right now a bit stronger as well than EU.
ooh.
Maybe that's
really?
why. Because when Xpeke was on Origin and they went to Worlds and went pretty far,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
they're like EU had a lot of attention right back then when Huni was there. I mean, it's just being a strong team. What makes you get fans, and right now EU is not that good. So
Well, you said that you are planning to return to the EU, like EU LCS. Your ideal is to play in the EU LCS. Is there a reason why you've chosen to stay in the EU LCS and not try NA again?
So I wanted to play in the NALCS, but since I didn't make it, I didn't want to do another split in the Challenger Series because it's a bit too boring for me, and like the competition is not that strong in the CS. Like I don't feel like I improved that much, and you play really few games in the Challenger Series since it's a league with 6 teams, and in the LCS you have 10 teams, so you get to play much more. So I feel like for my personal improvement, I need to play in the LCS next split. So like that's basically the reason. It has nothing to do with the region. Like if I made it to the LCS with EUnited, I would have loved to play there. But I see myself getting an easier I have an easier time getting a job in the EU LCS than any LCS because they have a lot of Korean imports over there. And since I'm European, I have an easier time to get into European team. And there's a lot of really not that good European junglers right now.
Is he
No,
wrong?
I mean-
Is he wrong? No flame.
I mean,
Okay. Well.
that's why I think I have an easy time. Should have an easy time to get into a team. But yeah, we will see if I find a team.
What was the since we're talking about junglers, I'm not going to ask you to call out specific junglers or anything in terms of like people that you could replace, but were there any junglers that really surprised you this year in the European LCS that you were like, wow, this person had a really great performance this split?
I think Saxe is the only guy in my mind.
Oh yeah,
that guy, he played really, really well, and I didn't expect it at all actually, because when I was spamming solo queue, like right when I was going into the pro scene, he was always playing only Hecarim jungle, and
what?
Everyone kind of like was like, "Fuck this one trick." So everyone was like, "He's a one-trick pony Hecarim. He can only play one hero." And then 1 season later, he started playing other champs, and he was insane on them. I was like, "Wait, this guy can actually play every champion." And now he's in the LCS and he's playing so well. So yeah, it's nice to see that growth, you know.
Are there certain teams in EU that you have your eyes set on that you'd like to play with, and any reasons why?
Can you repeat that question?
Is there anybody on the EU LCS, like any certain teams that you want to play with?
Obviously like the top teams. Like I mean, I would love to play in G2 on Fnatic. But yeah, I would be fine with playing. I mean, of course, I'm not gonna get into those teams. They have really good junglers already. My aim right now is to get into like middle or like lower class team, and then make it a good team with me being in. So that's my goal.
Yeah, as someone, I don't know how the process works. So as someone who's like a free agent and you're looking for a team, I notice a lot of people post on Twitter like, "Oh, I'm a free agent, message me." But is that the normal process how you go looking for a team, or do you reach out to people, or do they just come to you? Like, how does that work?
If you just played a pretty good split, then people usually come to you anyways. But if you have a hard time finding a team, then you can also approach teams. So yeah, it depends.
And I just want to ask, okay, so if you're saying it's based on like your past split, what rating would you give yourself? Anywhere from an S+ to like an F, if that exists. Where do you rank Gilius right now as a free agent?
Well, this is a chance to promote yourself, man. This is it. Give us your pitch.
You can tell us why too, instead of just giving us a letter and then like dropping the mic.
How hot is your stock right now?
I think I played a really good regular split. Like we were undefeated, and I got like a team with 3 rookies, kind of in this like to get on the same page, with my shot calling. Like I kind of got the team together, and that's why I would rate myself like for the regular split pretty high, but then for the promotion tournament I would rate myself lower because I didn't handle the pressure too well. But yeah, I don't know how to rate myself. Like I think I could be on a top team and do really, really well, but people don't really believe in it, So.
I would say like you almost mentioned like the promotion tournament like it was a knock on you, but I feel like it's a learning experience, and the more things that come your way, I mean the higher your stock gets. It's the fact that you have battled this adversity, the fact that you've had this experience, the fact that you went to a promotion tournament, which could be even more hype in terms of like atmosphere and emotion than even the spring split. I mean, you guys were fighting to get into the actual NALCS. Now with that said, that they're gone into franchising for 2018, does that make the loss in the promotion tournament any easier in retrospect?
I mean, what makes the loss easy is that I had to face double left Rainover and Piglet, brother.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yes, indeed.
Not really because of the franchising. It's just I feel like it's not really unfair, but it's just when I faced these players, it should be in a semi-final or in a final in playoffs, Not in a relegation tournament. So I mean, that was pretty weird that we had to face so good players, but
Yeah.
Did you almost feel cheated with the fact that Team Liquid could just throw money at Double Lift, use them for to get themselves out of relegation, and then he just signs with TSM? Did you feel a little cheated in that game?
I guess if you have the money, you can do it. It's just pretty weird that like they had such a huge investment, Liquid, like they threw a lot of money into the split, and they ended up in relegations. So that's I was just surprised about that they even ended up in relegations. Like, because Reignover in his past teams, he went 18-0 in Europe, and then he went 17-1 in NA. So I thought this team is going to be top 4 for sure, and then I had to face Reignover.
You guys crossed paths in the EULCS when he was there?
Yeah, he was 17-0, and then he played the last match against me. I was on Unicorns of Love.
Yeah. Did you?
Yeah, I got first blood. And I got
Yay!
No, we got 2 early kills, and then they just, like, Huni was like 0-4, and he was playing the old Rise, and then he just stomped us. He was 0-5, but he still one-shotted us also. Yeah, that's why I faced Reignover.
Well, speaking of Reignover, I was asking because, like, is there a jungler in particular that you like to look to for jungling and, like, maybe like a role model in a sense?
Not really, no.
Wow.
Back then, yes, but nowadays I think they can rather learn more from me than I can learn.
Attaboy! You shall have no false idols before God, Gilius.
Oh, that is beautiful. I love it. Oh, man.
Nice.
Okay,
So,
well...
I guess I want to ask generally, because we did mention the franchising thing, Gilius, like, what are your thoughts about franchising generally? And do you think it's something that the EULCS needs to move towards, or is that going to be a region that maybe doesn't adopt franchising? Like we've heard people say, European soccer clubs, football clubs, they say, they're used to relegation. That's a thing that exists in Europe, and European teams are used to it, so it's no big deal. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think franchising generally is really good for esports because it will take a lot of pressure away from teams to grow talent, to make a risky roster with a lot of rookies, because back with a relegation system you're kind of scared to get rookies because you might get relegated and then lose a lot of money in the investment. But then with franchising you cannot get relegated, so you just get a fresh talent team with young players and see how it goes. And I think there will be a lot of more interest from sponsors to get into the LCS because they know they cannot get relegated, and I think more sports teams are going to have interest in it because there's no risk involved anymore. And I think I definitely think Europe should do it too. And this argument with that with this relegation system that it's good for the fans and stuff, when it's gone, no one's gonna miss it. I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna forget about it. So I don't think people are waiting the whole split to just watch 2 teams fighting for their spots, to not lose their job. It's really playing relegations is a really disgusting thing for players. All 10 players are
fighting for
really
their lives, right?
Yeah, they're really stressed and not enjoying their time, and they actually just want to go home. And when it's gone, I think it will be better. Yeah.
I get that vibe, Gilius, when I watch any of the promotion tournaments. That it's I actually feel sad for the players in a way because I know that it's so hard to be in that spot and have to do your utmost best.
And the thing is, there's that one fleeting chance, that one fucking chance they could make it to the big show. Versus, if you're establishing the franchises that these are the top tier teams and these are the lower tier teams, you can at least then have a workable goal to work your way up to be part of an academy or whatever. Yeah. At least then you're in the system and know where you're headed. Anytime that I need motivation, I need to know my end goal. And with this Challenger Series, it's like dangling a carrot in front of their fucking faces, man. It's cruel. It's real cruel.
I would like to see Gilius be like Dad Gilius maybe one day on an academy team, you know, like really.
Hey, well, he says he's already sort of, you know, taking the leadership role.
Mentor role later on, not right now. I know you want to be in the ULCS right now, but like that would be a cool opportunity, I think, as a player who's, you know, you're going later into your career, like a few years down the road. The opportunity to just work with a bunch of rookies and say, like, listen, I've spent, you know, 6 years in the LCS or whatever, and this is how it works. So if you want to make it, this is what you got to do. That seems like a really interesting possibility for me, at least when I think about franchising. So
yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it's just like, imagine you know that this one player is really talented, or like you know that these 3 or 4 players are really talented, but there's this risk that they turn out to be not that good. Under pressure, and then you rather take the veterans over them because you're scared of getting relegated. That's just the thing. Like, I think there's gonna be much more growth of talent with franchising. So that's
a good point. Well, I think we're reaching the end of our show, but do you want to, you know, give a shout out to anyone or say any final words?
Shout out to everyone who's watching this. Thanks for watching, and thanks for having me here. That's it.
We loved having you on the show.
I was hoping he was going to do like a Hulk Hogan like promo, like one of those old school WWF.
Like shout out to Fnatic,
Listen,
G2.
I'm coming back to the EULCS. I'm taking your minions. I'm stealing your camps. Look out, motherfucker. Like that.
It's okay. Next time. There will be a chance next time for him to say that.
This was great, though. Thanks a lot, Gilius.
Thank you so much, Gilius.
Thank you, guys.
And best of luck. We want to see you in the EULCS, man. We'll be cheering you on.
Hopefully. Thank you.
All right, and everyone else who is watching, I see you guys are talking in chat. We do like to see your questions, but unfortunately, if you have a question to ask, you got to ask it early so we can ask our guests. So definitely check in next time, ask your questions, and we will try our best to ask our guests. We'll be back next week with another show, guys.
Tuesday.
Thank you for watching.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. You stay fun out on that rift.